She worked 2 jobs just to survive, and the people who looked down on her had no idea she was about to turn the tables in the most shocking way. Watch until the very end, you won't believe the twist that changes everything. It all started on a grey Monday morning. The kind where the world feels heavier than usual, and your coffee belly wakes you up. Victoria, 36, single mom, working 2 jobs, was walking into the office where she had her 3rd interview that week. She was nervous, not because she wasn't qualified, she had the experience, the education, but because she knew people had already judged her before she even spoke a word. See, Victoria was a single mom. And yes, she worked as a janitor at a high-end corporate office to make ends meet. People often assumed that meant she wasn't ambitious, that she wasn't smart, that she didn't have dreams. And yet, here she was, applying for a supervisory position in that same office. The moment she walked in, she felt it, the smirks, the whispered jokes behind hands, the slight shake of heads. She heard someone whisper as she passed by, "She cleans the bathrooms, she probably isn't ready for this." It stung, but Victoria had learned to survive stings like this. She straightened her back, smiled politely, and went to the interview room. The interview started formally enough. Standard questions, resumes, work experience. Victoria answered each question carefully, giving examples of how she managed teams in her previous jobs and solved problems under pressure. But halfway through, the tone changed. One of the interviewers, a young man named Aidan, leaned back in his chair and said with a smirk, "So, you clean our offices, huh? How motivating. You think you can manage people here with that kind of background?" Victoria froze for a second. Her heart raced. She could feel the flush rising in her cheeks. Every fiber in her body wanted to storm out, scream at him, make him regret saying that. But instead, she took a deep breath and smiled. "Yes," she said calmly, "I clean offices. And I've cleaned every kind of mess imaginable. I've managed schedules, handled emergencies, kept everything organized under pressure. I've done the work others wouldn't even notice, yet I made sure it was done perfectly. Now imagine what I can do with people instead of flaws." There was a beat of silence. Aidan's smirk faltered. The other interviewers exchanged glances. Victoria continued, calmly but passionately, "I didn't choose this job because I had to. I chose it because it taught me responsibility, patience, and how to get things done when no one is watching. And those are exactly the skills this role demands." The room was quiet after that. For a moment, Victoria thought maybe she had overstepped. But then, she finished the interview. Head held high, heart pounding, hope mingled with fear. Weeks passed. Victoria kept working her jobs, keeping her daughter's school lunches ready, tucking her in at night, all while waiting. She tried not to check her phone obsessively, but every ping made her jump. Then one Thursday afternoon, the call came. "Victoria, we'd like to offer you the position." Her heart skipped. "I got it," she whispered. Tears blurred her vision. Her daughter was screaming with excitement in the background, running around the small apartment. Victoria accepted, but there was one more surprise waiting. Her first day as a supervisor, she walked into the office, confident, ready, and guess who was sitting in her first team meeting? Aidan, the same man who had mocked her. He looked up, startled. She smiled warmly, extending her hand. "Welcome to the team," she said, her voice steady. Over the next few months, Victoria proved herself in ways no one could have imagined. She organized schedules, improved productivity, resolved conflicts, and most importantly, she changed the office culture. People started to respect her not because she cleaned the floors, but because she had proven her worth every single day. Aidan struggled. He had mocked her, laughed at her, and underestimated her. Yet here he was, reporting to her, following her lead. And she didn't gloat, she just did her job. Every decision she made was firm, fair, and precise. The ultimate twist came 6 months later. The company was expanding, and Victoria was asked to recommend someone for a senior assistant role. Guess who walked into her mind? Aidan, the same man who mocked her so arrogantly. She paused, thinking about what she could do. She could say no. She could refuse. She could remind him of the humiliation he caused her. Instead, she smiled. "Aidan," she said, "I think you'd be perfect for this role. You've got potential. I believe you can do this." Shock crossed his face. He stammered, trying to find words. But Victoria didn't give him the satisfaction of anger. She just looked him in the eye and said, calmly, "People grow when given the chance. Just like I did." And that day, Aidan learned a lesson he would never forget. Victoria went home that night, exhausted, but happy. She tucked her daughter into bed and whispered, "See, baby. Never let anyone make you feel small. Not your age, not your job, not your circumstances. You rise above. You always rise above." And in that moment, Victoria wasn't just a single mom, a janitor, or a new supervisor. She was a force of nature. Shocking but believable ending. The very people who mocked her became part of her team, reporting directly to her. Not out of revenge, but because she proved that resilience, intelligence, and character outweigh mockery every time. Sometimes the people who doubt you the most end up learning the hardest lesson. She proved that strength, not anger, is the real power. From being laughed at to becoming their boss, she showed that resilience beats mockery every single time. If this story moved you, if it made you pause or think differently about life, please tap the like button. It helps more than you know. Share this story with someone who needs hope today. And subscribe to this channel, because there are more real stories like this that deserve to be heard.